Rooster and Lark.
All right, Rooster Nation Podcast, we're back. Another short episode today. I just had some thoughts, things on my mind about the industry, about kind of how I'm running things that I just wanted to throw down on a quick episode of the Rooster Nation Podcast and let the troops out there know what I'm thinking about and how I'm thinking about the business. The momentum behind Rooster Nation is growing. More YouTube subscribers, a lot more followers on TikTok. Slowly gaining some more followers on Instagram, beating back those bots. Always trying to artificially up my followers. We don't want any of that. Only real people here at Rooster Nation. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is the sort of essence of leanness that kind of comes with starting a new business. Now, I, like many people, when I first got started, I read the book. I can't even remember what the name of the book is, but it talks about the minimum viable product, the MVP. You hear that in like all the Silicon Valley tech scum jargon, MVP. But I kind of took that to heart when I started the business. And ever since, I've tried to have a ruthless effort to keep it lean, to spend as little money as possible testing my ideas, growing the business. If it's not absolutely necessary, it gets cut from the budget. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people who would probably tell you I've cut necessary things from the budget. One thing for a long time that my wife kind of gets on me about is that I don't invest in any shirts or hats or any apparel or merch. This is just an example of something, because I don't want to spend the money. And I'll say, how is getting that shirt going to help me sell one more bag of Rooster and Lark today or tomorrow or next week? Because, again, I'm not focused on just my little 1 to 10 store radius around my apartment. I'm trying to get sales up across the country in the 600 stores I'm in. And, I just can never justify that. So that's an example of leanness. But it kind of brings me to the point of what I see going on in the industry and on LinkedIn and some of my peers, is I see people who don't know how to do something, hiring it out or spending money on getting that problem solved for them. And I think that what's missing is a lack of scrappiness and at least try to do it yourself to see if you can learn the skill. And when I think about my course, my time running this business, there's a lot of things that I've invested the time to teach myself how to do. And I think it brings to the point that I wouldn't say I'm naturally good at anything, even sales or a pitch or the financial numbers, but there's so many resources out there on YouTube and Google, really the internet. Now they're both Google, because Google owns YouTube, but I just recently found out that YouTube is the number 2 biggest search engine after Google. And you can learn to do anything on YouTube, okay? Making this podcast, learned how to do it on YouTube. Accounting and how to do the books and balancing the books, learned it on YouTube. How to make and edit videos for my YouTube channel on YouTube. All about raising money. So many videos on pitching and raising money, learned it on YouTube. Writing content, PR. There's so many resources out there to teach you how to do something that I think we need to be, as a community, more in tune with that and more willing to try to do it on our own before we go and outsource it to a consultant or something like that, which kind of brings me to my point that I see too many people hiring things out, but also I see a lot of people not receiving deliverables for the things they hire out. I think if there is someone pitching you that they're a consultant, they can help you with something, the first question you need to ask, in my opinion, is what are the deliverables you were going to give to me? And if it's a list of recommendations, I do not think that is a productive use of money. I think you're better not spending your money, spending a day, 2 days, just sitting in front of your computer and learning how to do the thing it is you need to do. Whether it's fundraising, whether it's the books, whether it's marketing, take the time to read and understand and go through slowly and teach yourself how to do it before you pay someone. I even think about graphics things when I need files manipulated or I got to put together a little sheet. There's just so many resources out there that teach us how to do these things that I think there needs to be a much bigger reliance on YouTube and Google and the internet for self-education rather than kind of blowing money on consultants that don't necessarily offer any deliverables, right? And I think that the difference between that, some people kind of fall into these line of consultants, and I hear people complain all the time about how they hired a sales consultant or they hired a marketing consultant, and they got nothing done. They just lament all the money they wasted on that. And I think that the difference between a consultant and what these people might be looking for is perhaps a freelancer. I think asking a freelancer, if you need help putting together, let's say, a financial model, or you need help doing your books, if you're going to find someone to kind of do that for you on a per project basis, I think that's totally reasonable use, because they're going to provide you a deliverable at the end of the day, right? If you pay someone to do your packaging, they get your packaging done. But I think to pay someone to do marketing for you, and then they just come back with recommendations about your marketing, it's just not a good use of funds, not a good use of money. And I just think there needs to be a shift back to the MVP, to the minimum viable product, and not being so fast to say, oh, I don't know how to sell, I'm going to hire a salesperson. Oh, I don't know how to market, I'm going to hire a marketing person. Oh, I don't know how to do ops, I'm going to hire an ops person. And to take the time to learn how to do it. And especially, I think about it a lot in the context of this marketing thing, with how to do the podcast and how to make the videos and how to try to, at least, I haven't been successful yet, but at least I'm trying to build it. PR, that's another one. I almost fell into the trap again. I was going to look in at different PR consultants and paying people to get me PR. And then I had a conversation with a guy on the phone. He said, that's crazy. It's got to come from you. It's got to come from your voice. And getting PR, it's just like getting sales. You got to put together a little pitch package, or the article, sort of pitching your business as an article, why your business is worth writing about it, and go pitch it to journalists. And I was about to blow God knows how much money on a stupid consultant to help me get PR. They're just going to, put it on the PR wire. They're not going to push it like I can, and I'm going to achieve no value. I've heard people complain about the lack of value they get from PR agencies all the time. And that's just another example of what I'm talking about. I think we got to dig deep. We got to get back to our minimum viable product roots, and we got to do more on our own and rely less on consultants and third parties to get the job done. Because I think when you rely on third parties, you lose the passion, and you lose I think you lose a little bit of the expertise. I think some people aren't as great of an expert, and it's easy to overpromise and underdeliver in this kind of thing. So that's what I've been thinking about. That's my big rant for the day, and hope everyone enjoys my thoughts on the business, on the industry, Rooster Nation. And if you got any questions, you got something you want me to talk about, shoot me a DM. I'd love it. Shoot me an email, aaron@roosterlark.com. Connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Come on, we're everywhere. All right, that's all I got for today. I will see you Roosters next time on the Rooster Nation Podcast. I'm out.